Hello and welcome once again to Savepoint, or for the first time. This is a show where we talk about video game news and topics that you suggest to us in the YouTube comments and on Twitter using the hashtag Savepoint. My name is Ryan Shepard.
I'm Nick Rubio, and we're back to using last names.
Yeah, and last names are back, and we're going to jump into this because that's what we do. Yeah. You pick one. I don't want to pick one anymore. I changed my mind.
God, like you picked up Rosemary's Baby or something.
It was sort of like that.
Akito, FTW Gaming.
Right.
Our good buddy Akito.
Thanks for the topic, man.
All right. What do you guys think about broken games? Do you like these new Kickstarters that make people donate their hard-earned money on a game that looks promising, but people developing just become assholes and abandon it for the sake of being lazy? Your thoughts on this, please. So, I think what he's trying to get at is, well, first of all, hold on. We want to say that nobody makes anybody donate.
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
If you donate to a Kickstarter campaign, that's sort of on you.
You don't go to a page and some guy goes up behind you and grabs your arm and is like, all right, fucker, you're here. Donate, you know? Yeah,
the big problem with Kickstarter games and early access games is that as someone who's thinking about promoting one or backing one, you got to go into it with the mentality that this money might be going towards nothing. That or I'm going to at least enjoy what it is right now. You know what I mean? If it's an early access game. There are very few examples, I think, of someone just straight up giving up on a game, like that Orion dinosaur game.
Fez 2.
Yeah. Were they kickstarting Fez 2 or no?
I think they were. I don't remember exactly if they were kickstarting it, but I just remember him saying he took the money and he ran. And I'm assuming he took the money because being Fez. So, broken games, I don't necessarily ever think there's it depends on what you say. What is that's gone. A broken game. Is it a game that's like the Orion game where, I mean, the Orion game, it was a functional game. You could play. It just wasn't very fun. I mean, are we saying that a fun game is broken?
Well, I would say that, for instance, E.T. was a broken game because you could not complete it. It's not a completable game.
But then look at Goat Simulator. I mean, that game, the game gets its charm from being a broken game. Like, things would happen that would make it derive humor from it. Where otherwise, if they sold it or marketed it as a AAA game, it would be, people would scorn it, you know?
But I mean, at the same time, the support for Goat Simulator has actually been pretty good. I mean, they've been coming out with a lot of patches and stuff for it, so that's kind of ironic, I think. But I don't think too many developers go into it with the idea that they're just going to be lazy or shitty about it. I mean, does that happen? Sure. Yeah, definitely. I'm sure there are people who are like, I'm going to milk this idea for whatever I can with no real sort of plan to make it anything.
I'm sure the people behind the Orion game, those were people actually in their hands doing the work. Because, I mean, people often take the PR person for being the face of the studio where, they're not necessarily. The guy who was running the Kickstarter is not the guy who was making the game. I'm sure the people who were actually putting hard work into the game were actually trying to do something great. We're trying to actually had a love of dinosaur games and saw the market didn't have them. This guy came to them and said, hey, I'll be your backer, I'll help you get your stuff, and then by the time they put out something, or they got duped as well. We don't know the whole story
because most people who get into developing and programming video games do it because they want to make video games. Like, at the end of the day, if they make a bad product, most people are going to feel bad about themselves. And the thing is if you put something on Kickstarter and you don't, produce what people think that you're going to, you have a lot of people mad at you, and most people don't like that,
No, they will flagrantly voice their opinions online, as people do on the internet.
But a couple things. For game developers going on Kickstarter, I think they do need to hold themselves a little bit more accountable, because it's happened too many times where a game has fallen through on Kickstarter. Maybe the goals aren't realistic enough. I don't know what it is, but I think that there needs to be more delivered on their promises, and Kickstarter has talked more about that, and they updated their terms. It's something recently about that. But at the same time, as somebody considering backing a game, you have to take some of that responsibility.
You need to vote with your wallet, and you need to be a smart consumer when it comes to stuff like this, because honestly, at the end of the day, if nobody funds anything on Kickstarter, no one gets duped, nothing gets made.
Yeah, exactly.
So everybody should as a person should take a look at something, see if it's realistic enough, see if it's something that you want to back, and you got to go in it with the idea of, I might get burned doing this, but I'm okay with that.
Absolutely. And that's pretty much all I had on it. So, I mean, thanks so much for the topic. Let us know what you think in the comments, but let's go on to something else here. This is from Twitchosaurus Rex. This was on on YouTube, and they ask, if you could design your perfect game, what would it be like? It's a hard question.
That guy who made that Sega animation, that entire storyline, I want to play. I want to
so
live
terrible. It's a Sonic story with characters from Street Fighter. And I don't know where it's coming from.
God, who else was in it? Oh, shit, I can't remember. Was Master Chief in it? I remember there being a rocket launcher.
I don't even know where that came from. I think Cammy had the rocket launcher.
But it was like from Halo?
I don't know. It was weird.
Cammy, I love you forever.
If I was going to make a game, God, that's really hard because, like, I like a lot of different genres of games. It wouldn't be a tower defense game, and it probably wouldn't be an overhead game, but I don't know if it would necessarily... I don't know. Would it be first person? Shit, that's hard. I like RPG games, so I think something with an RPG elements, really strong story, and, you know, I don't know, dinosaurs and robots. No dinosaurs or robots, but definitely probably sci-fi. Probably sci-fi for sure.
Sci-fi?
Yeah.
You know, like there's been a lot of... There's been a few sci-fi games that have come out, but not too many, like... There hasn't been a lot of sci-fi games that have come out.
I think there's been a lot, but maybe not a lot of good ones. Like, alright, good sci-fi games. Halo, Mass Effect.
In the past, 4 years.
Space game. Wait, really? Wow, that's a...
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, if you consider Destiny a good game, then I guess you could say that's it.
Yeah, I guess.
Watch Dogs isn't really science fiction.
I can't think
Man, I'm really drawing a blank. I can't think of the last really good science fiction game that came out. Maybe I'm stupid.
I think my ideal perfect game would be something that would be very heavy co-op. That's something you would play around, something like a very heavily centered, like couch, like you sit around a couch with your buddies, eating a pizza and drinking beer.
I totally agree.
Hard liquor
I miss that
for him. And we would also...
Don't do drugs or drink alcohol, kids.
We don't promote that here.
Yeah.
Only off scenes. And then a really heavy co-op, because I feel like there have been quite a few good co-op games lately, but not with that. Every game has been, you can play online with your buddies. Like, I want like something that makes people come over. You know what I mean? I
do miss that experience. That's what you get with like, I think that's the one last great thing about Nintendo is people still come over to play Smash, they still come over to play Mario Kart, and they're still going to come over to play Mario Party. And
only one of 4 of your friends has a Wii U.
But it's also because it's just a better experience to do that in person, and that the Wii's also a much smaller console, so it's easier to carry around. So, wow, yeah, I think it would be something co-op. I think I want something very similar to Halo, but like the old Halo.
I want very like heavy customization because I love that show. I like changing armor. I like new guns and abilities and stuff like that. So, something that makes you want, and a lot of secrets. I know you fucking hate collecting things, but I love secrets.
The weird thing is like, I need a game that somehow balances between like heavy customization and like features and like secrets and stuff in the game with very light. Like, I like a lot of character customization in a game, but when I start playing a game, like when I played Skyrim for the first time, I'm like, I just want to play the game. I don't care what his nose looks like anymore. Like, but then I have to do it because if my character looks dumb, then I'm never going to enjoy the game.
You have to live with it.
Yeah, I'll never enjoy the game. But it sucks because when you're first getting into a game and you have to spend like 2 hours customizing your character because you know that's how it is, it just, I don't know.
I kind of enjoy the character customization. I don't know. Maybe
I wish like maybe I could play for an hour as like a faceless person and then do my character customization. I don't know. What game would you make? How about that? Because I'm no good at that. I can't think of anything. I'm dead inside.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think I don't really care what the story or anything like that is because I'll probably be really drunk playing it and I won't remember. I'll just remember the good times I had punching other people, you know? So, like, it's just a good family-friendly smash 'em up co-op.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so we're going to try something different we've never done before today. What we're thinking about doing is we're going to cut to commercials or cut to an advertisement or whatever, and then we'll resume the conversation right after that. And if you hate this idea, let us know in the comments. If you're cool with it, let us know in the comments. But it actually makes things a little bit easier for us in the world of movie magic. So we'll be right back after this break. So welcome back. I'm glad that you stayed for the rest of the show because we have one last topic left for today.
I missed you.
And did I read the last one? I think I read the last one. Did you read the last one?
No, I read the first one. I read Keto FTW.
So then I just read one. So you should be reading this one.
It's upside down. You handed me upside down. I can't do this anymore. Mr. Sharky Hat, Destiny expansion at Underinspired from Twitter. Destiny expansion content already on the disc from day one.
Okay, so there's a shitstorm about this right now.
Do you want to start this?
Okay, I'll start off. So basically what people are saying is that through some sort of glitch, someone was able to see all this menu content and map content that shows new areas of the game that are currently locked right now, new play areas, new game modes and stuff. And supposedly some people have actually been able to somewhat glitch into these new areas. But I don't know. You pick it up from here.
Okay, so this is how it works. Until somebody actually puts the disc on a computer and somehow figures a way to data mine the actual content from a Destiny disc, proving that the expansion content was already put on the disc. And even if it was already on the disc, that doesn't necessarily mean too much, because it's for all intents and purposes, I keep saying this time and time again, Destiny is an MMO. And if you play any MMO, World of Warcraft is known for this all the time. When a new expansion comes out, they will put out content as you're playing the game. And every time you turn the game on, you'll get downloaded some more of the new expansion data as it's coming out. So you will have pretty much before the expansion comes out, whether you buy it or not, on your hard drive. So,
and Destiny has already been putting out patches. Like, there are patches that Destiny does that don't necessarily go through the Xbox Live Store or through the PlayStation Store. And these updates might be containing small amounts of the next expansion. And they do this so when you do download the expansion, it offsets some of the load. You're not downloading it for very long time.
It's the argument of saying, would you rather download a 5 or a 1 gig patch, letting you about before the expansion comes out? Or would you rather download the 12 gig of everything? Like, it's just the company. Like, the company didn't just make the game and then stop working and then start working on the expansion. They were working on the game and the expansions. They had different teams working. I mean, that's just how game producing works. So people, and unfortunately I knew this was going to happen, people who aren't used to MMOs, people who aren't used to games like this, don't know how they function. And that's exactly how they do things to make it easier on you and make it easier for them.
Yeah. Like, a lot of people I saw in the video explaining this were commenting, comparing it to like games like Call of Duty and stuff like that, where it's not similar in that when a game that is an MMO or an open world shooter, it's designed with this sort of MMO mindset, and that's going to mean that content is going to be continually delivered over time. You know, that's just how MMOs work. You know, you have expansions and everything.
If you buy the first disc of World of Warcraft, you have to install Burning Crusade, the Wrath of Lich King, Cataclysm, Mists of Pandaria, and probably pretty much all of Warlords of Draenor.
Right.
But you can't access any of that content. Well, you can access the changes that they've made in Azeroth,
the main world.
You know.
But yeah, for the expansion exclusive content, everyone's going to have to download it, except the only difference is that people who pay for it will be able to play it. But otherwise, you wouldn't be able to be in the same game if you only have part of it downloaded that somebody else had. That would cause all kinds of errors and problems.
I mean, it's not like Halo, where like you just didn't download the map if you didn't have. I mean, it was, in a sense, it is kind of like the Halo, where you would if you didn't download the maps, you couldn't play with your buddies. You know, everybody had to download the map packs. We all know how that worked. I mean, so in a sense, it's kind of the same thing. Whether the maps were on there to begin with or not, they're still working on them. I mean, if the whole game was made, they still want to put it out in chunks. I mean, Destiny has said this, and Bungie said this. It's a 10-year game. Yeah. So,
it's also hard to know whether this content that this person has glitched into, or these like small map segments have been glitched into, whether they were on the original disc or if they resulted from a recent patch. I didn't see any evidence showing that this was something that was on the disc from the very beginning. And if it is, we still don't know that it's not extremely incomplete content. Like, they might have just had the bare basic things in the code to kind of work off of from there.
Yeah, and I'm sure they do live testing on live servers, you know, because that would make sense, because why would you want bugs?
Yeah.
You know, because it's sort of this, like, double-edged sword argument where, like, people, they put out stuff to test it like this, and then people get mad because they assume that this is content that's already done, and that why are they having to pay for it if it's already done and on the disc.
Yeah.
But in the same time, if they just released it and just said, fuck it, we're not going to test it, and it comes full of bugs, everyone's going to complain anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like we have to pick and choose. They have to pick and choose their battles of what they want to do. And I really think it's unfair to jump the gun and say, unless like I said, I want hard concrete proof of somebody putting their disc and data mining the data from it and finding. And even then, like I said, I feel like they would have some assets on there. Because why not? It makes it easier.
I mean, to me, it mostly seems like it's the internet reacting like it always does, and with like a fiery anger to most things. I mean, we'll see what happens. If we find out that this shit was on there from day one, and all the content was already there, then yeah, I still believe that content that was made ready on day one should be available day one. But I don't think this content was ready yet. I still don't think it's all ready.
I mean, I think the whole expansion is just going to be a whole new, like, load of story modes, load of map packs and shit like that, and just load of content that is not necessarily confined to a couple things. Like it's a whole large scale thing.
But anyway, why don't you guys know what you think in the comments section there, and tell us if we're stupid, and leave us a topic for next time. Like the video, subscribe to our channel,
do a jig
like a little dance kind of thing. Yeah, get a little groovy. Hey, they sell there's a company now doing a replica Star-Lord jacket.
I'm sure it's lots of money.
It's like $150.
It's a lot of money.
That's not bad. It's not your Akira jacket.
Well, my Akira jacket's a timeless artifact.
All right. Well, we'll see you next time, everyone.
We should get those. We should wear both of them.
At the same time.
We will probably melt in here.
Yeah.